I'm a program coordinator at the American Center at the embassy. And actually, in particular, I'm in charge of youth programming. That's why I'm here. And I'd like to tell you a few words about our center. First of all, just for you to welcome you to our center. What is that? Okay. We're located in the embassy, as I have already told you. And our goal is to dialogue, to encourage dialogue between the two cultures, between the American and between the Russian Federation. That's why we offer lots of different programmings to increase people-to-people connections. Our goal is to deepen mutual understanding between the people of the United States and the Russian Federation. As you can see here on the map, there are lots of American centers around the world. Actually, hopefully we'll have more American centers, but now it's only one American center, which is in Russia. We have public diplomacy 5 core programs, which is alumni, education USA, culture and community, English language learning, and information about the US. These are the things that we try to cover. We're always looking for partners and volunteers who can help us with programming, so you can come to our center and to volunteer for us. In these fields, as you can see, US-Russia International Relations, STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts and math, innovation, cultural diversity, journalism and communication, business and entrepreneurship, civil society and volunteering, English language, education, environment, health and sports, and creative expression. So as you can see, we have lots of opportunities for you to come learn and to come do something for us. You can see the list of the programs that we actually give to our participants, like again, business entrepreneurship skills development, public speaking, our debates club, English language courses, which are actually not actually courses, but all our programming develops your English language skills learning. Graphic and design and stop motion animation, which are always popular in our center and attracts lots of visitors. 3D design and printing. Have you ever seen the 3D printer? Have you tried it?
Not yet.
Not yet. So please come. We're welcoming you to come and use this technology, to come and try to 3D design, or maybe, print something for yourself. Okay.
This is really cool technology, guys. Yeah. I highly encourage you to check it out. I nerd out about it all the time, so it's really great. Anyway.
Okay, and we also have programming on electronics, like Raspberry Pi, like Arduino, and lots of other things. Now we have the course of Python, so you can come and learn how to do that. The formats are really diverse, like lectures and presentations, informal discussions, which are in really friendly atmosphere, workshops and hands-on activities, as I already told you, debates clubs, panel discussions, round tables, technology showcases, performances like music and dance and demonstrations. Actually, tomorrow? Yeah, I guess tomorrow we are having the music jam. So you can come listen to the lecture first and then to join the music jam club if you are really want to sing. It's at 7:30. If you want to sing, if you can play the piano, we have electronic piano. If you play the guitar, you can bring your guitar with you. Anything. So this is the really cool event. So I'm welcoming everybody. Of course, we do film screenings and networking events. We do Skype calls with different cities in the US and around Moscow and around Russia. web conferences, and we support exhibitions. We also have in-house library, so you can come and check out books, not only books, but DVDs and audiobooks as well. It's very easy to be a member of our library, and here you can see what we have, like Science and Technology, Business and Entrepreneurship, Books That Shaped America collections, Democracy, Education, English Language Learning collection, Graphics collection, children's books, which may be not that interesting for you to know, fictions, and books in Russian as well. We also have electronic resources, which are much, much more than our physical collection, and absolutely for free. You can just come to our website and be a member of our ebook library. Unfortunately, now we cannot do the personal accounts for eLibrary USA, which is much more diverse. But you can come to the center and use this thing from the center. That's what I told you, that all our programs are absolutely for free. They are non-profit, non-partisan, non-commercial, free of charge, and we sponsor alumni, and encourage to use American Center to share the experience that our people, our students got there in America. They come here and do their workshops to share their experience with you guys. We also welcome all cross-cultural events, of course, as we support this stuff. As you can see here, you can be a volunteer. Just visit our site and you'll find this. Oh, sorry. And you'll find this link. You'll just fill it in, and you can volunteer in any area you would like. We have actually events in our sporting building where we are located, but for bigger events we use the console hall where the entrance is much easier to get. The languages for the events are different. Most of them are in English. Sometimes they are in Russian. Okay, I don't think that we can do. We are open for everybody starting 12 p.m. until the very, very end of the last event that we have during that time. So it's very easy to come, just get your passport with you, and you can just come and see how we settle there and do anything you want. You can use our computers to get to the internet, you can use our collection, you can read our magazines, so you're always welcome to come. Thank you guys. Now I'm giving the word to our guest speakers. Lisa Tirino,
Hi everyone.
who is the head of research and development at Blueprint Organics, and Blair Dunbar, who is representative of Russia Today.
Hi. So as Irina said, I'm Blair. This is my fourth time in Russia actually. And I work here at RT Russia Today as a specialist in marketing and PR. And this is Lisa. So we're going to talk about American business trends. So first we'll introduce ourselves, then we'll go through some trends that you'll see not just necessarily in America, but in general throughout these two spheres, sort of marketing and PR, which are tied together as well. And we're also going to talk a little bit about tourism, because Irene mentioned that was of interest. So, and then you can ask us questions. So, okay, so this is me. I spent 9 months in Nizhny Novgorod through a program sponsored by the U.S. government called the Fulbright program. I was a Fulbright scholar. And I graduated from Northwestern University in Chicago. I moved back, so I came back to America for about 3 months after Nizhny Novgorod. Then I moved back to Moscow this past October and started working at RT. My job is an international specialist in marketing PR. So basically I work with all sort of foreign media and foreign anytime we're doing any marketing with foreign markets.
Good afternoon. I'm Lisa Tirino, and I wanted to just share with you that you should know probably 3 things about me, okay? I love my family, I love food, and I love the question why, okay? And this is all laddering up to my background, and those are the 3 things. So if you need to remember anything, that's all. But I am the head of research and development and as well as innovation. So this is my marketing arm of my role for Blueprint Organic. And my past experience includes 10 years of FMCG company experience. I was at Kraft Foods for quite a long time, as well as PepsiCo. And now I'm with Hain Celestial Group. Blueprint Organic is a brand within Hain Celestial, and it happens to be the #2 largest natural and organic focused food company in the world. Multinational companies. Right now I'm the immediate past president of the New York Institute of Food Technologists. This is a local regional leadership role. And my education, I went to Cornell University, so I'm a scientist at heart, but I love the business. I love the question why on top of the science. So I also went for an MBA and Master's of Science in Economics. I'm originally from New York and just been in Moscow 7 months. So relatively new to Russia, but enjoying it. And I hope to share with you some American business trends in this presentation that we're observing.
Okay, so marketing and public relations.
So what is marketing? Do you guys, how many have studied marketing in here? Have you had a marketing course? Who knows anything about marketing? Anyone? Just a hand raise.
It gives you one hand there.
One hand. Every hand in this room should be up. Every single one of you is marketed to every day. Okay, so you all know something about marketing. It's the brands you love, it's the products you buy, it's what you pay for a product, it's how you interact every day with each other, but also with the different things in your lives, from the shirt you're wearing to the shoes you buy, the phone you're using. So this is marketing. And the old school, I call it old school thing, is the 4 Ps. For marketing, you define it by your product, your price, your place, and your promotion strategy. I reject this, actually, so if you go to the next slide. Marketing, to me, is so much more than the 4 Ps. And I hate to, tell the old scholars that they were not right, but I think we're evolving as a culture, and there's so much more we need to account for in marketing, including not only product, place, price, promotion, but the process in which we do these things, how they're connected, the physical environment. What are the sociological factors that go into our marketing strategy? And I think what we'll touch upon very, very, very in depth today is the people. So each one of you matters in that marketing campaign. It's a 2-way conversation. And when I asked who knows anything about marketing, it's you guys. This is you. And you're part of that strategy. And each company needs to take each one of you into consideration. So, go ahead.
Okay, so what is PR? PR stands for public relations, although in my office, we actually are known as the press office. So basically, marketing, right, is more selling your product, but then how do you manage your image? How do you manage communication with people and organizations outside of your company? And that is the primary responsibility of PR. It's also your corporate language. What is your company trying to say? How do you say it? Specific terms. So typical certain public relations tasks in more traditional spheres can be, if you have a big story, trying to sell the story to the press, putting out press releases. As we'll talk about as we go through the presentation, traditional PR is very much changing because of social media and because of different platforms people can use. Where I work, my primary responsibility is more of a crisis communications, so issuing comments, corrections, doing interviews, sort of trying to maintain the image and work with organizations and press outside of our team.
So marketing and PR are very interconnected, and Blair and I know nothing about PR. I'll be the first to admit that. But when we were talking about the topics that Blair and I deal with every day, we found a lot of common ground, okay? And one of the first things that came up was that an emerging trend for America, and I would say globally, is that people are focusing more on experiences versus things. So the value is being placed in experiences. You can go to the next. And this experience culture is coming from the millennial generation shifting into the workplace. They are shaping, creating, driving strategy. And there's a shift in spending. They're also the consumers. So since 1987, we'll have a lot of statistics there for impact, of course. But since 1987, and I'll tell you, this is the year I was born. So from the year I was born until now, the spending, the dollars that Americans are willing to give up on experiences and events has increased 70%. It's quite a lot. In my lifetime, spending has shifted and increased in this category 70%, okay, 30 years. Now, more than 3 in 4 millennials would choose to spend their money on an experience over buying something they desire. You know, it's instead of a car or a handbag or shoes or whatever it is you want, they'd much rather pay for the experience that car gives you. You know, what is it about driving that car? How do you feel when you're in that car? How does it make you, you know, feel socially if you're wearing certain things or if you're doing certain things? And this is where the connectedness and the experience culture comes in, and that's what drives the strategy. So it's about the value of access over ownership, okay? And this is an emerging trend. It will be a continued theme throughout our presentation.
So VR and augmented reality. You guys have probably heard of VR, virtual reality, or 360 video, panoramic content. It's kind of the next wave. It's very popular. And it's sort of what we see, the trend. First there was video, now we're moving to not just video, but VR. So actually, at RT, we have a permanent VR unit. We are one of the first news organizations to use VR as part of regular news broadcasts. Huffington Post, CNN also have separate VR units and broadcast in VR. They say that by 2020, the VR industry is going to be worth about $20 billion. The problem, though, that they're having is that there's a major lack of content. What started as primarily, what was created mostly for people who play video games. I don't know if any of you played video games. Or they're trying to appeal to a much wider audience. So how do you do that? For news producers, it can be a way to immerse viewers in events, world events. So we've actually done videos from 360 videos from on the ground in Syria, in Aleppo, so in Mosul. We've also done videos from inside the Bolshoi Theater. So for people who can't actually go to the Bolshoi Theater, they can feel like they're inside watching a performance. It's also a tool for news in the sense that because you're immersed and you're experiencing it, you can't choose an angle. So now there's talk of using it as a way to fight, or if you've heard the fake news trend, because because it's filmed in 360, you don't get to pick the angle. It's basically you're just experiencing it. So it's a big trend. So this was actually, we sent a camera into space to film aboard the International Space Station. I don't know if this is going to work. Yes, maybe. To film the first ever panoramic view of outer space.
Yes, it's working. Nice, yeah.
This is actually a joint project with Roscosmos and the Energy Rocket Company here. And the person narrating
And now, let's
is
move into
Russian
perhaps the
cosmonaut.
most interesting
By the way,
place.
American Center has virtual reality glasses as well, and this video is really familiar to me, so you can just come to the center and experience this yourself in our VR glasses.
But occasionally, you do get some. So, every time we have a free minute, we try to spend it here, in this module. The module has a beautiful name, Cupola. Get ready to see what is so attractive about this place. We are slowly, very slowly, approaching it. And
This
trying
is
to
really
have a
cool
look
when you watch it
inside
in
of the
VR.
So,
Because you can
what
just
do we see
watch
here?
down, watch up, watch
There's
back.
a stunning view. We can see the Earth, the most wonderful planet in the universe. I think that no matter how many more new planets we discover, the Earth will always be our home because it is the most beautiful planet. Look, what a gorgeous view opens up from the cupola. You are now able to see unique pictures with your own eyes. Watching it as we do here, just like us, you can appreciate the beauty of our planet. And you see that our Earth is round. There are no whales or
We also
elephants
from time
holding
to time
it up.
have events with NASA representatives.
Our wonderful
And
planet
actually this
really
Saturday,
grows on its own.
this is the
Called
Earth Day
space.
actually, and we're going to have our children's club with NASA
Here you can
representative,
see
Justin
the external
Tillman,
elements
who's
of our
going to
station.
speak and for our
The crew
kids
members see on
and tell
their
more
station.
about space and about his experience in cosmonautics. Maybe show something. So we just, okay.
So we actually are still producing these videos. There's one new one every week, and they're filmed from different modules for the International Space Station. So this
Really
was
cool.
one sort of aspect that before VR we wouldn't have been able to do.
So, related to virtual reality, this news came out 2 days ago. So, I actually was doing a little bit of research last night for this presentation, and I came across this. It's very interesting. This is Facebook's 10-year roadmap. This is their corporate strategy for technology, okay? And right now, we're in products. We're still in experience, right? But it's all on your smartphone, okay? The future technology that Facebook has just signed up for their own internal strategy is VR and AR, so virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and they're still around connectivity. So I just thought this was interesting that if we're talking about an experience culture, we're talking about virtual reality, there are big companies making decisions with their strategy, and they're going to be on board with this. So very soon, your smartphone is going to be more of an augmented reality, virtual reality interface. Who knows what that's going to look like? Okay. So within virtual reality, augmented reality, we have a challenge for this classroom. We want you guys, we want your help in thinking about which is the biggest idea of the next 3 that we're going to present to you. And at the end of the presentation, we'll go back to these and vote. But just think about the next 3 products. You have the opportunity to invest $1 million if you had it in one of the following ideas. Which do you think is the biggest opportunity and why? And we'll hold it till the end. We'll discuss at the end. Deal? Good? Yes? Okay. So the 3 products. So this is Blair described the PR side of virtual reality. This, for me, is the marketing and product side of virtual reality and what it unlocks for the consumer. What's the need state? So the first bucket is turning fun and games into paying customers, enabled through augmented reality, and this is Pokemon Go. Do any of you play Pokemon Go? No? I see some yeses.
I don't believe you guys.
So to the next slide, Blair, if you would. So businesses saw this as this viral thing that has taken over. People are so engaged with this augmented reality. You find these Pokemons. But what if we could direct consumers to go to particular places because that's where the Pokemon are? Aha, now we have a business proposition. So they've added 10.5 thousand gym and Pokestop locations at Sprint stores. Sprint is a cell phone provider, and this directs traffic to a certain store, a certain location. So now all of a sudden you're having your consumer interacting with a game with your brand. So this will give them more traffic, more opportunity to purchase products, and you see when you're in a general vicinity and you're closely located, this gets your place, right? And you get your product seen by more customers because they're playing this, because they have this in their hand. So is this a big idea? Think of other companies that could direct traffic to a certain area. Is that the biggest idea? I wonder. So the next one. Product trial. So using augmented reality to enable your consumer to try a product before they buy it. Okay? Do you guys see like the Instagram, I don't know, ears you can add to yourself, or I don't even know, I don't use it, but anyway. So the next product I'm talking about with enhanced sampling. So it's a sampling strategy. How do you get your product in the hands of people without physical location, without them having to go try it from their own home or wherever they are, actually? So Sephora, a cosmetics store, has introduced Modiface. The next slide. You can try on the makeup before you buy it on your own face. Is this the biggest idea? Enabling product trial. Okay, so this is option 2. The next one. I call it right place, right time, right stuff, right? So it's this intersection of having all of the right things at the absolute moment where you would need it. So my example of this is the BMW heads-up display, their smart windshield, with GPS leveraged content. So using your location to not only show you your statistics of how fast are you going, where's your next turn, but oh my gosh, you're so close to this restaurant. Maybe you're hungry, it's 12 o'clock, and this restaurant's only a 200-meter detour this way. Maybe this will drive traffic, purchases, and it's a complementary thing to add to their smart windshield. So this is augmented reality enabling advertisement through your GPS. Is this the biggest idea? Okay. So first, augmented reality, maybe the next slide. Oh no. No, back. Sorry. Back one more? 2 more? Okay. Forward, yeah. So is it fun and games into paying customers? Is it bringing them to a certain place because you need to play a game and this is what's going to drive you to get somewhere? Is it product trial? Is it enhanced sampling? That's the biggest opportunity. Or is it the GPS leverage content? So knowing where your consumers are with data and figuring out what they might want or need through analytical, your search engines, what you're interested in, where you've gone before. I don't know. Pick one. Let's discuss at the end of the presentation, but keep it in your mind. So we're talking about experience. We're talking about marketing trends. And a trend is the brand emotional connection. So this is why you're creating right? This is why you want the experience. It's because a brand now, to create engagement, needs to build a community. So it's powerful. Here's a quote from someone from Fast Company. Today, a product or service is powerful because of how it connects people to something or someone else, right? And it has this impact because we can do something worthwhile with it. We can tell others about it or have it say something about who we are, about us. One brand that I think is doing a really excellent job of this is the CrossFit brand. Have you guys heard of CrossFit? Yeah. Okay. All right. It is a crazy fitness regimen. I did it. I do it. I love it. I'm very emotionally connected to it. Positive or negative, I don't know. But it's about building a community. And they even say the community is what differentiates CrossFit. CrossFit as a brand is built around community. More and more brands are doing this, maybe less obviously, but that a brand emotional connection is around creating community. So experience, emotional connectedness, community.
To create that community. So what we talked about a little bit before with augmented and virtual reality is the importance of video. By 2020, 75% of mobile data will be video. There are 492 million, despite that, mobile devices were added in 2016. Everything is video. In fact, we actually have a problem where we don't have enough photos when we do presentations because so much of our content is video. And everything's on your smartphone, everything has an app, it is all about video. So one of the main and probably one of the first platforms for using video to promote your brand or your company was YouTube. YouTube was actually sort of RT's claim to fame. They started using YouTube as a video platform as soon as it became available in Russia, which I forget was several years after the initial launch of YouTube. It was the first news channel to reach 1 million views and now has more than 4.5 billion views across its channels in its various languages. So YouTube can be used more traditionally. You can have advertisements on your YouTube channel. So that's how you monetize your YouTube channels. But also it's more about, as we've talking, creating this brand. So what do you put on? Promos, in the instance of what I do. Promo videos. We have what's called play videos, which are more fun and use graphics and cultural references, and footage of natural disasters. The other big part about this that YouTube plays into is interacting with users. Because now everyone can directly interact through their smartphone, whether it's through Twitter or Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram, any platform, you have to more directly interact with your users. Versus, that's why what I was saying is traditional PR in the sense of press releases and placing stories is becoming less and less important because people, if they want something, they can just Google it. So this is actually a picture of, if you guys have ever read Mashable, it's more tech. This is their blog, and this is a lovely picture of Donald Trump looking like Queen Elizabeth. So this is their Tumblr blog. So they actually have a separate blog. So they have their website, and then they have a separate blog on Tumblr to sort of, it's mostly actually GIFs, but to sort of more directly interact with their users. Coca-Cola actually, during the 2006 World Cup, did this competition where they had normal people live with professional bloggers in Germany for the duration of the cup. And they had them blog together to sort of simulate the virtual reality television series. And then they promoted these blog posts. And it was really, really successful. So you can't avoid social media. And for news, in terms of how using blogs, it's a really cool way to sort of bridge the gap and tell stories, tell more of a story. So The Economist, for example, if you've ever seen Medium, uses Medium to tell stories. For example, why are we called a newspaper when they're not actually a newspaper? Or what's it like to be a journalist? And so it's creating more of this, so we talked about this experience. It's a way to talk about your brand, and it's a way to, you know, a more fun story to tell.
And that story brings us to the trend of purpose-driven marketing. So all of this, you can see the layers developing, right? We're an experience culture. We want community, connectedness, interaction with the brands at the very, very bottom level. So purpose-driven marketing takes the core values of a business, of a company, and you talk about, forget what you're making. It's why you're making it, okay? So the purpose-driven marketing creates a story marketing. Next. Here are some examples, some big companies that have decided to define themselves in purpose. Amazon, their purpose is to enable freedom of choice. Says nothing about the products they offer, says nothing about the services, says nothing about the need. They feel their overall purpose, mission, vision is to enable freedom of choice. That is what Amazon believes. They're purpose-driven. IBM, solutions for a smarter planet. Nothing about computers, about software, about technical innovation. Solutions for a smarter planet is their purpose. SAP, helping the world run better. Again, software interaction interface company. Nothing about their product. McKinsey, world-changing client impact. Unilever, I know them very well. I used to work on Lipton tea at some point in a prior life. And they make food, they make cosmetics, they make, you know, lotions, creams, whatever. Their mission, create a better future every day. I'm buying soap. Okay, all right. We're creating a better future every day. P&G, purpose-driven innovation. Also a big company with purpose. Coca-Cola, too. They're making beverages, but their purpose, they very clearly want to be telling a story around inspiring moments of happiness. And maybe walking around with those bloggers during the World Cup is going to inspire those moments of happiness. So the company should do, everything they do should ladder up to this purpose.
I also think it's important that even if you're not selling a product, every company has a brand. Every company has an image. Our purpose, we do purpose-driven marketing. Everything is based around the idea of question more. That is the purpose, question more. That's what we want. And it's a media, it's a news channel. So no matter what you're selling, or if you're not selling anything, there is a brand, there is an image you are presenting.
Mm-hmm. So, to my soap example, Dove. Dove is a soap brand owned by Unilever. And they have a campaign where I think, it's a long video, but I think we'll show this video if we have time. So their campaign is purpose-driven. Look for any indication of soap, of cleaning things, of any of that. You'll see it's missing.
I'm a forensic artist. Worked for the San Jose Police Department from 1995 to 2011.
I showed up to a place I'd never been, and there was a guy with a drafting board.
We couldn't see them, they couldn't see us.
Tell me about your hair.
I didn't know what he was doing, but then I could tell after several questions that he was drawing me.
Tell me about your chin.
It kind of protrudes a little bit, especially when I smile.
Your jaw.
My mom told me I had a big jaw.
What would be your most prominent feature?
Kind of have a fat, rounded face.
The older I've gotten, the more freckles I've gotten.
I would say I have a pretty big forehead.
Once I get a sketch, I say thank you very much, and then they leave. I don't see them.
All I had been told before the sketch was to get friendly with this other woman, Chloe.
Today I'm going to ask you some questions about a person you met earlier, and I'm going to ask you some general questions about their face.
She was thin, so you could see her cheekbones. And her chin, it was a nice, thin chin.
She had nice eyes. They lit up when she spoke.
Cute nose.
She had blue eyes, very nice blue eyes.
So here. This is a sketch that you helped me create, and that's a sketch that somebody described of you.
So yeah, that's...
She looks closed off and fatter. Sadder, too. The second one looks more open, friendly, and happy.
I should be more grateful of my natural beauty. It impacts the choices and the friends that we make, the jobs we applied for, how we treat our children. It impacts everything. It couldn't be more critical to your happiness.
Do you think you're more beautiful than you say?
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time as women analyzing and trying to fix the things that aren't quite right. And we should spend more time appreciating the things that we do like.
That's the first time I saw the brand, right? But it's the emotional connection. It's relating to what your consumer is feeling, what's going on in their everyday life. And this is purpose-driven marketing. It completely ignores the product and hinges on really what your purpose is. So, all that to be said, it's a trend, it's a theme. And I would almost say it's starting to get overused. There's a lot of noise on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, not here, but any social media platform. You get bombarded with these brands and their purpose-driven, their story. It's hard to remember all these stories. It's hard to be engaged with all these stories. So, it worked very well for Unilever and Dove and the campaign. But then they moved half of its brands to purpose-driven. So there's something they celebrate, it's something they feel it's really important. But there's an expression, and I'll explain. If all you have is a hammer, that's the only tool you have. Everything looks like a nail. Hammer only knows a nail. So you have one trick, and then it becomes less important. So basically, it's at risk of being overused, but the trend is there. It's tapping into the emotional connections, but I would caution that maybe we might be using it too much in marketing now. So with that purpose, there's an aspect of social responsibility and sustainability. This is the green movement. This is recycling. This is water management. This is maintaining agriculture and farmers and families and making sure that we as a people are sustained in the world. And companies being socially responsible and engaged with that and those purposes. So this is a trend as well, also within purpose-driven marketing. So I heard this at a global innovation conference in 2011. Speaking of 2020, if your brand does not have a sustainability story, you will be irrelevant because you need that connection with everyone. You need to be able to communicate because, why is it important? 88% of consumers in America would like to know that their products are making a positive difference in the world. Their choices should impact something in a positive way. Again, for the overuse, we need to break through what we call the greenwashing. So every company has a sustainability story now. But is it really meaningful? Is it really compelling? So I propose to you a case study with Starbucks. So they had a goal by 2015 to have all of the farmers and all of their coffee supply be defined as sustainable by some parameters that they defined in their reports. And actually, every year, and many companies do, issue this says Global Responsibility Report 2015. Every company has a mission to be globally responsible, to have a sustainable story with their brand because it's become a requirement, as that presenter had predicted. So in their coffee sourcing, they've been able to, for example, outreach to farmers, 7 new farmer support centers, Latin America, Asia, and Africa, and they've developed a global agronomy center to develop sustainable farming practices. Now, they sell coffee at a coffee shop, but they are demonstrating that they care all the way back to the farmers and ensuring the supply, the ongoing supply of coffee in a way that is responsible. Next. And do you believe them? Do you guys believe that they're actually doing this? Maybe. Okay. So their goal was 100% ethical source, sustainable source of coffee. They've admitted in their reports, hey, we only made it to 99%. And here's the numbers, here's the statistics. So they've actually admitted quite publicly, this is their public reports, that they have not made their goal. They have not achieved it.
So what we're seeing is that only 44% of consumers believe green messaging coming from big companies. Not just green messaging, but any messaging. Any data, any statistics you put out, people don't necessarily believe it because, well, it's the company saying it. Especially with how much information there is that's available, whether it's through Twitter or Facebook or any social media platform. So what we're seeing is third-party data for credentials. So basically saying, okay, this is what we think we're doing. I'm going to hire an outside company to prove it, and then publishing those reports. A big thing was in terms of audience numbers. We don't calculate those ourselves. No one would believe us. So we actually hired a firm called Ipsos, which is a French-based research center, to conduct a huge study across 38 countries around the globe about our audience statistics, and then we publish the report because that gives us credibility. Someone else is saying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and on consumer packaged goods, which I'm more familiar with, we have these I say I work for Blueprint Organic. Our brand is organic by definition. But no one would believe us unless we're held up to a third-party standard. In our case, the third party is a government agency, the USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture. And we must file every formula, every product, every ingredient, what farm it came from, what country it came from, what growing agents they use, what pesticides they've used, with this governing body to get that round seal on the label so that people believe that what we're sourcing is an organic product. Okay? For example. The next trend is crowdfunding. Have you guys heard of Kickstarter? Is that something here? I don't know. Kickstarter. So you post an idea as an individual person, as a company, as you have this idea and you want to get it out into the world, but you need funding to do it, right? So the idea is you send out this idea, you post it on a page, almost like a profile page, product page, and people can search and see the new ideas coming out, and they can fund. Yeah, I want to give you $25 to make that happen. Yeah, I want to give you $10 to make that happen. And you amass from your friends, people you don't even know. It's driven by this social connectedness that you want to see this product come out, or you're supporting the technology or the development of this idea so much that you fund it. So bigger companies got this idea that although the individual person is probably using this the most, larger companies will use it as a marketing tool, as a test market. It's a predictor of success by how many people will support the idea. So actually there are big companies that are posting their products or their ideas well before they launch them to see as trial, will it work? So, if you want to go. There are hidden benefits for crowdfunding. You can use it as research, as I described. Do you think it's a good product? Is it a good idea? So companies can post it and see how much funding they get, and at some point they think it's a good idea, and then they launch it. It also gives you promotion. So it's free product promotions. It's a platform for engaging consumers and getting them to see your product and promoting. And engagement, of course. So, you can build brand advocates through this. You can develop feedback. People will say it's good idea, bad idea, and why. So it's actually becoming quite a marketing tool with businesses to leverage crowdfunding sites as sort of an immediate pulse check on what products they're launching.
So because of new technology and resources, people you're seeing a higher demand to go to plastic destinations. And it's changing pricing models. So here is actually, I know Uber is now in Russia, so this is from New York during New Year's. And it shows a 7-time increase, temporary increase in the normal rate. So the minimum fare jumped up to $175 based on demand.
Yeah, and so what you can see, because we have a very agile technology system, pricing doesn't have to be set for a very long time. You can change your pricing model very easily. So this surge pricing is all related back to the supply and demand and dynamic pricing models that can happen. And one example is this Uber surge effect. You can click, there's another one. And speaking of New Year's, so on peak travel times during the New Year's holiday, actually around the US, in New York was around 6 times, Orlando was almost 9 times, Dallas 5.5, LA 3 times, Scottsdale, Arizona 7 times. I don't know why, but it was happening in Scottsdale on New Year's. I don't know. It was a place to be, but So you'll see these dynamic pricing effects where if you go to ride, for example, a roller coaster during a peak time, it costs more. Or if you want to skip a line, it's costing more. So it's this dynamic pricing model that's a trend in tourism right now. Also, bargain travel. So 60% of American travelers are price-driven. So this price sensitivity creates a lot of elasticity in the market. And actually drives segmentation. Back when Uber started, I'll continue with that example, there was one Uber product. There wasn't Uber X, Uber XL, Uber Select, and Uber Black. This was all one option, one type of taxi, one type of car service. And because of the price sensitivity, they've realized that they could segment into, different levels of cars, different levels of service, and charge more or less for the same exact point A to point B destination, depending on the experience that you're delivering with the ride. There's talk, by the way, of adding a budget below UberX. So there's talk of having something below that. I don't know what it will be, but rumor has it in the news.
There's also a trend for wellness travel. I know it's a little different in Russia. For example, I have 28 days vacation. In most companies in the US, you can have maybe 10 days paid vacation. So a vacation is not really a mandatory or normal thing, not nearly like it is here. However, now they are starting sort of the idea of wellness and promoting happy employees. They've started to make, certain companies have made vacation mandatory, and they're actually promoting this work-life balance. And so this is driving a new trend in, so instead of traditional travel, actually this wellness travel. So, hiking somewhere or going on a beach and doing yoga.
Yeah, something to disconnect from the day-to-day. And this actually has a CAGR, a growth rate, 50% faster, more velocity than the traditional travel. So this is a big trend in the US. The next is adventure travel. So we go from I want to relax, I want to disconnect, to I want to challenge and push myself to the limits, and oh my God, I'm going to fall off this cliff, this mountain. And actually, this is connected back to that experience of virtual reality. So my example here, to create that authentic experience, this is actually a friend of mine. My husband went to university with him in the US. And he left today, actually. I took a screenshot last night. This was 3 hours from when I took the screenshot, that he was leaving for Everest. He's climbing Mount Everest, probably tomorrow. He left today. And his company that he started is all in adventure travel, getting a small group of people to go on these extreme experiences. To go to Everest, for example, to hike. And what he's doing it in collaboration with a purpose-driven reason with the Himalayan Stove Project and the World in 360. So on this hike of this adventure travel, this adventure tourism, that he has a small group with him, he will take 360 video and incorporate that back into a virtual reality experience for actually those that cannot travel because of physical limitations. They have MS, they have cerebral palsy, they are paralyzed, they've lost limbs in wars, they just can't experience these things anymore. So he'll take this back as part of his purpose-driven marketing and provide this to someone who otherwise would not be able to experience it because of physical limitations. So I wish him luck, but this is the experience culture. It's the community, it's the connectedness, it's virtual reality, and it's this authentic experience. And he told everyone about it on blogs, on Facebook. He's fully funded. So it's a great way to kind of cement, and this is a real life example. It's happening today in this world. So going back to that VR challenge that I gave to you guys. So maybe we track back. I didn't put the slides in again. So I'm going to ask you guys, remember those 3 products? We had the Pokemon Go and companies leveraging it for fun and games being actually for business, good for business. The try on your makeup before you buy it, so product trial. Or heads-up display, GPS-enabled content. I'm walking by this area, I'm driving by this area. There's a convenient way for me to go somewhere I might really want to go, and Google Maps letting me know it in my BMW heads-up display. So right place, right time, right stuff, as I like to call it. Show of hands, do you think the biggest idea, maybe stop there, is, okay. Turning fun and games into paying customers. Do you think leveraging a game that is in a lot of hands right now is the biggest idea to connect these two? No one. One? You brave soul. This is great. All right. What about enhanced sampling? Product trial with virtual reality. Is that the biggest idea? Would you invest in this? One? Yeah, come on, guys. It's not, there's no wrong answer. All of them are great. 2? It's going to be a slim investment competition. All right, right place, right time, right stuff. How many people think that's the biggest idea? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay. All right. So right place, right time, right stuff is the winner. So GPS leverage content. You guys think that this connectedness and being able to be told when there's a product occasion is the biggest idea. Very interesting. Who can tell me why? Because I love that question. Who can tell me why?
I personally think that it's really useful for people to know where they can get something close to them, their location.
Okay, so it's helpful.
Yes.
Guys, quiet. I want to hear the why. Don't rob me of my favorite question and answer part. Okay. Anything else? It's helpful. It's informative. Anything else? Why would you put your hand up, those of you that did, for right place, right time, right stuff? Why is this the biggest idea?
Why it's the biggest idea?
Yeah.
It's helpful for finding place.
Okay. It's helpful for finding a place. Okay. Okay. What do you guys think? What were your votes?
I think I would probably want product trial before, especially because you don't have to leave your house. It's convenient. So probably product trial with augmented reality.
Yeah.
I'm for the second and for the third. Trial is really good.
So Irina is going to put $500,000 in one and $500,000 in the other.
Yeah.
She's
That's
diversifying.
Right. Because I would love to try the makeup before I buy it.
Yes.
It's really, really expensive actually.
Yeah.
Well, but right place, right time, and right stuff is also important.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you need to feel your audience, you need to feel people, what they want right now, right now, actually.
Yeah.
And here.
Mhm. So I would.
This time you'll get success.
Yeah.
That is my idea. What do you think, Artyom?
I think right place, right time, right stuff is also for me preferably. Yeah.
Okay.
BMW smart show, yeah, it's GPS is really.
Yeah, that's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that this exists.
It's happening, yeah. It's happening. All right, guys. So, closing comments. We can go to the end, you think?
Yeah. Well, so that's it. If you guys do have any questions you wanted to ask about the presentation, you can ask us some questions about American Center, being in Russia. Any questions? Believe me, I've gotten some strange ones, so don't be afraid.
We're here for you guys, so you're welcome.
Yeah, any questions? Presentation or just life in general, if you're curious.
Do you think this topic was interesting for you? Oh, okay. So you think that was useful? Do you think you will come to the American Center to try all the stuff we have? To just see how we settled there at the embassy? Would you be interested to come and join us?
How often do you get to the embassy? With the passport?
Yeah, you need to have your passport with you. And if you are registered for the event, if you're going to the event, you need to register on our site, amc.ru. And actually, we are open for everybody starting 12 p.m. every day. So you can just come and see how it is going right there.
Yeah.
What is that? Yes, sure. Students who are less than 18 are always welcome as well.
I think the closest one is
I didn't hear you.
Guys, we have questions. Quiet.
It's better if you
For a
have
sec.
a student card or something, any document with your photograph on it. If they are even less than 13, they just come. That's it. They do not get their badges, and that's easy. We have interesting club. Maybe Alexander knows about it because he came a couple of times with the students to our center. We have TED Club, which is for youth 13 to 18. Maybe that is your age group, of course. And this is a very useful thing for you guys because we try to develop public speaking skills. So we try to avoid fright in front of the audience. And it's really fun. So just come and join us. I invite you all. Thank you guys for your attention.
Thank you. If you have any questions, we're here if you want to come up. But thank you.